For Pacifica Radio, I'm Scott Baba. House Republicans passed President Donald Trump's $4.5 trillion tax breaks bill today, 218 to 214, after House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries of New York wrapped up his marathon speech. Jeffries had seized the floor in the early morning, making use of a leader's prerogative in the chamber for unlimited debate, and kept speaking out into the afternoon. He argued against the bill's cuts to health care and food stamps and other programs in what he called Trump's big ugly bill. As he finished, fellow Democrats chanted his name, but top Republican Representative Jason Smith of Missouri, chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee that drafted the tax bill, called Jeffries' speech a, quote, bunch of hogwash, and said that the speech would, quote, not change the outcome that you will see very shortly. Airstrikes and shootings in Gaza have killed 118 Palestinians in the last 24 hours, this according to Gaza's health ministry today. Among the dead, 45 were attempting to get humanitarian aid. Dozens of people were killed in airstrikes that pounded tents and schools sheltering displaced people in the Strip Wednesday night and Thursday morning. On Thursday, human rights organization Amnesty International issued a report claiming Israel and the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, the newly created secretive American organization backed by Israel, uses starvation tactics against Palestinians. Meanwhile, American contractors guarding aid distribution sites in Gaza are using live ammunition and stun grenades as hungry Palestinians scramble for food. This is according to accounts and videos obtained by the Associated Press. Two U.S. contractors, speaking to the AP on condition of anonymity because they were revealing their employer's internal operations, said they were coming forward because they were disturbed by what they considered dangerous and irresponsible practices. The contractor who provided the videos said the bullets were fired in all directions, in the air, into the ground, and at times towards the Palestinians. The testimonies offer a rare glimpse inside an often chaotic scene at these sites. Mali's military says armed men attacked a Mali community just over the border from Senegal this week. One expert called the development especially worrying as the deadly violence spreads. The al-Qaeda-linked JNIM extremist group claimed responsibility for the coordinated attack on several Malian army positions in the country's west and central regions. Mali's military says it neutralized 80 attackers. Mali, for more than a decade, has battled an insurgency by armed groups. Meanwhile, India called on Mali to secure 3 Indian workers abducted during the recent attacks. Ishan Garg reports.
Calling it a deplorable act of violence, India's foreign ministry says it has asked Mali officials to take all steps necessary to get the 3 Indian workers released. They were working for a cement company in Kayes city in western Mali that India says was the target of a coordinated attack on July 1st. Though no group has claimed responsibility for the abduction, an al-Qaeda-backed group says they were behind several other attacks that took place on the same day. Several government as well as military installations were hit. In light of the recent violence, India is now asking its citizens in Mali to exercise utmost caution. Officials say they are also in touch with the families of men who've been abducted and are offering all possible help. Ishan Garg, New Delhi.
In response to the news yesterday that Paramount agreed to pay $16 million to settle President Donald Trump's lawsuit over the media organization's handling of a 60 Minutes interview with Kamala Harris ahead of the 2024 election, Senator Bernie Sanders condemned the company's decision, calling it an extremely dangerous precedent that threatens press freedom and accusing the company of prioritizing a $2.4 billion merger over Democratic values. In a statement, Sanders said the move will, quote, only embolden Trump to continue attacking, suing, and intimidating the media. Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts also condemned the settlement and urged an investigation, saying, quote, Paramount should be ashamed of putting its profits over independent journalism. Seth Stern, advocacy director of the Freedom of the Press Foundation, called the move, quote, one of the most shameful capitulations by the press to a president in history. Stern said that his group, which is a Paramount shareholder, has filed multiple shareholder information demands and would be pursuing legal options to try and stop the payment, arguing it could be construed as a bribe. The Trump administration has accused states and schools of using federal education grants to help fund a, quote, radical left-wing agenda. The administration this week froze over $6 billion in federal education grants meant for immigrant and low-income students. Officials say they are reviewing the funds to ensure alignment with President Donald Trump's priorities. Yesterday, the Office of Management and Budget claimed some grants were misused to support immigrants in the country illegally or promote LGBTQ inclusion. Programs for English learners and migrant children are among those affected, leaving schools scrambling to adjust. Advocates say the majority of children in English language programs were born in the United States. I'm Scott Baba for Pacifica Radio.